Normally with young horses, they can get very, very easy long in the strides. Don't try to change when the horse is feeling like that. Never. Make the trot and the half steps. And you just take your time. We'll look at that. And I let Elizabeth do it a little bit her way now, and I just make some comments. Now she starts to make transitions. First transition was a quite normal transition, and now she starts to put a little bit leg in the transition, and she makes some half steps with him. All the time she is letting the horse go quite much forward. It's absolutely correct. The horse has to think forward all the time when you do the half steps. When you start to make the half steps, you also start to move from the comfort zone a little bit up to the stretch zone, a little bit carefully. And normally you get a little bit more adrenaline in the horse. And when you can combine that, like Elizabeth did now, I think it was very nice. Also when she felt he did a few really nice transitions. I mean, you can already see it's on the way to Piaffe. It's not only half steps. It's very, very good start to learn the Piaffe. I should say, this you can also start in time. If you feel that the horse mentally is ready for it, if you feel that you know your horse very well, the horse is not getting in stress, concentrate in the beginning that he is doing it on your signals. Don't need to be this way. It's coming after a while. If the horse is trusting you and know exactly what you want, the will of the horse to do small steps is the most important. Then the construction and the exterior of the horse is later on showing if he can do these steps or if it's more normal. You cannot really change the whole horse in the construction, you know. Some horses, they have this kind of movement from the nature a little bit more. Yesterday it was someone who was asking, like, if the horse, when you make long steps and short steps, but without trying not to change the rhythm very much, is it okay if the horse is getting a little bit quicker when you go forward for extensions? In one way, you cannot have exactly the same rhythm in the extended trot. It depends on, I used to say like this, don't try to ride too swingy in the trot if the horse have a tendency to be very quick in the extensions. Because then it looks very, I mean, try to have the normal working trot a little bit more quick. Like Jeremy's horse yesterday in the end. You can see that when I said, think about quick leg now. In fact, that's the way he should ride that horse all the time. My opinion. And I think we're going to look at that today. So, of course, it's not good if you have shorter steps or the normal trot, working trot, and then when you make a more ground covering, that the horse starts to run too much, speeding up too much in the rhythm. That's not, the judges don't want to see it, and it's not so good. But you have to try, when you train, you have to try to feel that this kind of rhythm, when I take the short steps, is quite equal to the rhythm I do when I take the long steps. Because horses, they are not, when they are going forward in medium and extended trot, they never do it exactly the same way. So you have to find where you have a good balance between the short steps, normal steps, and the long steps. When you do the short step, you can also play with the short step and the trot. And that's also a little bit the short steps, the trot, and impulsion. And starting to put more energy in the horse. That's the play you do to improve the trot. And again, when you do these things that you start in time, don't stay with it too long. Don't ride short step a whole training, like 45 minutes. The horse must feel that it's funny when you do it. Never do too difficult exercise too early. And if you do one new exercise, don't stay too long with it. So when we have done all this work and the horse is confirmed in the flying changes, again, if they are 5 or if they are 6, if they are confirmed, then why just stay with that? Then you start to make more changes, but not with two less strides between. You can make a diagonal. It don't need to feel like tempi changes. It can feel like flying changes and a lot of strides, and flying changes, a lot of strides. But it's a kind of start to think of tempi changes. Sometimes I have a feeling when I start with that the quality of the canter, the change is getting even better, because you have from the nature a little bit more energy in the horse. They do one change and they're getting a little bit excited, and they have more energy from themselves in the hind legs. And we just start. I always start like this on the diagonals or the long side. We can show you one example on the diagonal, like we did yesterday. When you have a good feeling in the canter, Elizabeth, you pick the diagonal and you try to make one change in the beginning. And then if you have a good feeling, you wait and you do one more. Good. And then you wait. And then you do one more. Okay. Then we try to do like this. Now I told her a little bit late. Try to do the first one as soon as you have him straight. Quite a little bit early, so you have more time. Good. You have more time. Don't need to count any strides. Just like it was only one change. Okay. And pat him. And walk. If this was really in the beginning now, maybe one of the first time he did it, then make a break. It just need to be like this, and pat the horse, because then he have time to think, and you have time to think, okay? And then you can maybe repeat it 1 or 2 times, and then enough with that. Not trying to make 4 tempi the same day. Just make it like this. Okay. Make it one more time. Yeah, only 3 changes. 1 early, 1 in the middle, and 1 in the end. Okay. And then next step is to try to make, and then I also make not 5 4 tempi, only 3 4 tempi. Okay. And then you can see from the right to the left, he's a little bit swinging with the hind legs to the left. So you make it one more time. We take a look. Okay, that was better this time. And then walk and pat him. This is the way we start with the tempi changes. And again, if you have a feeling that now I have done too many diagonals, the horse started to be smart. The horse started to run away, and I feel that I'm going left and right a little bit too much. Then you find a new place to do the changes. Maybe counter canter the long side, do one change and wait, one more, wait and one more, or the quarter line. Okay, we take some minutes for you now only to show a little bit the start with the pirouette work with her. So we start just to canter to the right. And I mean, I don't know how much you have done it with her. Yeah. So we just show it. When you're cantering here now, you just check up the checkpoint system, you know. The 3 control points, you know, the truck, and the short and long steps. And when you control longer steps and shorter steps, and you have the horse in front of you, I mean, all the things, the ground things we were going through yesterday, when you know it, it's control points that goes very quick. You just check it up and then you start with the next thing. You don't need to sit 15 minutes and doing short and long steps. Later on, when the horse know it and the rider know these things and know the horse, you see, she do it very well now. No, I didn't ask her to do that. We are trying to show it now as a demo, you know. I know you can do pirouettes, but I'm trying to show the audience a little bit what I'm thinking. That's good. And then you make short steps without turning. Yeah, that's good. Okay, normal steps again. Now you were checking it up, Elizabeth. It went really good. Then you can start to, when you do the short steps, you take the hind legs a little bit in here. And then you collect a little bit more, but you stay on like a 12-meter circle, just to check that you can bend the horse a little bit and have the hind legs a little bit inside. Very good. Very well. And then you go out again. And then these things you shake on both sides. Now we just do it on one side, but okay, next time again you start on the 12-meter circle. Take the hind legs a little bit in. This is the normal way to start, like a working pirouette. And then you make smaller steps. After a while, very slowly, you make it a little bit smaller. If you feel that you have the energy, if you feel that you lose the energy in the horse, it's not in front of your leg, then you go out again. And then you go out again now, even if it was good. Just a little bit of release for the horse. Maybe you make some longer steps now like you do. Okay, then you repeat it again. Slowly, don't go in, when you're doing this working pirouette, don't make it too small, too quick, because then you're learning the horse to do it before you. Stay a little bit here, and a little bit shorter steps on her now. Yeah. And then you can make it smaller. Good, 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 and out. Super. Very good. And you could see now it was not extremely small circle. I think it's enough with her. It was really good. It was not extremely small. It was on a space like this, but good quality. If this was the beginning, I should not do small pirouettes with a horse before I can really do this and repeat it just when I want it, like this. When I feel I can do it like this, just like I want it, I can start to play maybe like I did yesterday, with the small steps, and start, and when he's really so much adrenaline, and he has the horse, really the legs under, it's no problem to stay very small, because you have so much energy in the hind legs, and the horse is sitting so much. Then it's better to do it with half steps, like I did yesterday, and you could see that these horses, when I did it, was really, really on the spot, and very natural way. Then do it like this here, because if you go in too early, when you do the working periods, too small, I have seen horses, they are changing so much and getting flat, and start to stop up a little bit, because you don't really have, you have done so many circles in the working period, so they don't have the energy really to sit. I'm now talking about not confirmed horses, 100%.